are set.
All right, cool. So we'll go ahead and get started while other people hop on, because I know it's earlier. I know it's a different night that we are used to, but I figured with the call tomorrow, most people are going to want to hop on that to hear all the ins and outs from Jericho. So I'll touch on that. But hi, guys. Thanks for joining. I wanted to start off a little bit differently. I saw this on a training, and I just thought it was pretty cool. So it's just like a little different shout out. If you want to shout someone out or acknowledge a coach on your team or somebody in your life that's supporting you, we can take a moment to do that. I personally want to shout out one of my new coaches, Danielle. She already hit Success Club 4 this month. So she's rocking it, brand new coach, just by sharing on social media. So that's one person I wanted to shout out. But if anybody else wants to hop on, unmute yourself, shout someone out. We can do it at the end too, and more people jump
I
on.
will shout out. Hold on, let me find her name. I'll shout out someone. If anyone else wants to go in front of me, go for it. Oh, Lauren Eastlack. She signed up 2 people in 2 days.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to shout out? Start with recognition. We can do it at the end too. Pressure's off. All right. So I'll get started, and then we'll do it at the end. All right. So some news and updates. I just wanted to kind of put some things in here that I saw in the online office that were important, some things that were coming out in because it's a brand new month. Lots going on, lots coming up. So be sure just to use the FAQs. If you're not certain, ask questions, but always check the FAQs if you're not sure, because usually the answer can be found in there. But make sure you can use your mentor to support you, your upline's upline. Everybody's here to help this team grow. So Vegan Recover, we know that came out. The packets are out now. So make sure you're reaching out to anybody in your business who is already on vegan Shakeology. They could definitely be a potential Vegan Recover customer. So make sure that they know about it by just going through. You can itemize that search in your online office now and really find out who's on the vegan formula and send them an email. Fix8 Volume 2 cookbook is now available. So if you know you have people who are doing the fix, recommend that they grab that Fix8 too. There was a change to the military veteran waiver program, so check out the FAQs for that one. But again, Recover packets are available, and you can now edit, a customer can now edit your cart that you send them. So before, like, they were having so much trouble because you had to, like, they changed their mind or something and you had to resend a new cart. Now, if they're a customer, they can go in and edit that cart. However, it's not available to coaches yet. So if you're signing up a discount coach, they're not going to be able to edit the cart. And you can also now share a cart with apparel. So that's new. So I saw that and thought that was really interesting. Everybody should have gotten this email, so I'm not going to read it to you, but it's just some updates that are really good to know about some qualifications for Summit. Today, actually, and I'll mention this next, actually it was June 1st, but it came out really today. To Be Mindset put out a 30-day meal plan, and if you've purchased it, you have the availability to access it. So just a good thing to know. You can go and get some new resources. There's new recipes, grocery list, eating plans, all that stuff that comes with 2B. So that's definitely something you want to let your 2B clients know about, and check it out for yourself, because it's a great thing to share inside your challenge groups too. So the big one, the reason why we moved the call to tonight is because Jericho is doing a call for Philly Fusion. If you don't know what that is because you're not from the area, we'll probably post the link. I think Dave just posted the link in Philly Fusion, so we'll share that for tomorrow night. But tomorrow, Jericho is actually hosting a call for the Philly Fusion community, where she's going to be going into the details and everything you need to know about the new program, MM 100 or Morning Meltdown 100. So some key things that I got from a training that Kevin Shaw did in the Beachbody Champions page. Obviously, the trainer is Jericho. Today, some of the program resources went live in your online office. So if you're not sure where to find them, guys, you're just going to Grow My Business, Product Tools, and Shareable Media. It's probably going to sign me off because it does that every 5 seconds. But in your program tools, they have the product training guide up, which I highly recommend reading, printing, whatever you need to do to digest it, because it's good to know the ins and outs of every program, even if you can't do it, because I won't be able to do it when it launches, but I will still be getting to know everything about this business or this program and telling everybody about it, even though I won't be able to physically do it. But it's right back in Grow My Business, and then your product tools, Morning Meltdown product toolkit. And then you'll see some of the items have been put in here. They're adding more as we speak because this wasn't here before. So if you check in by tomorrow, there should be a good amount in there, including the sizzle video, which you want to start sharing. One really cool thing I wanted to kind of touch on really quickly is when you are starting to chat with people, your potential customers and challengers, you can actually send them this quiz, which is pretty cool. It helps determine which bundle is right for them. So that's a new thing they're offering. So there's a lot of packages to choose from, and we'll do a whole nother call on that. But if you're not certain or you don't feel so confident in telling people which package best fits their needs, which you kind of should, but you can say, well, hey, here, I'll send you this quiz. You can answer the questions honestly, and then it'll tell you which package best fits your needs in order to be successful with this program. So there's a couple other videos. Oh, they're popping up more and more. Then they also give you the challenge pack comparisons. So do your homework, guys. Get to know the ins and outs of this program because it's going to be a big one. But overall, all this stuff, challenge group guide doesn't drop until July 7th. It's a high-intensity cardio resistance training total body workout. There's 100 workouts, but it's not 100 days, which I actually thought in the beginning it was a 100-day program. It's not. You can double up on some of the days because they're only 20 to 30-minute workouts. There's 5 phases. You can do 20 workouts each phase. Like I said, 100 workouts does not equal 100 days. So that's a good point to know. These are just some dates. I'm going to put this presentation up in the team page so you can go through if you want to. But do know that there's some things to start talking about and sharing now in June, even though the program doesn't launch until the end of July. Why? Because you want to start setting yourself up for those customers and challengers to be ready to start the moment the program launches, but also because we have the opportunity to really start getting people started now in preparation for this program. So when you start to approach a launch with that mindset, it just helps kind of getting your June going into your July and kicking off your August really strong. So an important date to note, obviously today resources went live, but on the 24th of June, there's a free workout. So you definitely want to be inviting people to try that out. And then here's some dates in July that we can go over as we get a little bit closer or do like another training on. But just so you have them. And then here they're already prepping us to start our second challenge group. So they're really thinking ahead and helping kind of outline where you should be, what you should be doing, and what you should be inviting to utilize the launch to your biggest business advantage. All right, so that's a quick rundown on that, but be on the call tomorrow for Philly Fusion. We'll post the link in the team page, and now we can get started with tonight's call. So I know lots of news and information. But so tonight I really was trying to think about how I can best help my coaches, my new coaches, and remind myself of the things that I need to be doing on a daily basis to be successful in this business. I'm coming up on 6 years. Holy crap. I'm pretty sure, right, Rose? 6 years? I think I lost count. So 6 years ago, this business started for me when I was a full-time teacher. So of course, I was not always a full-time coach. In fact, when I started this business, I was working 3 to 4-ish jobs, depending on the day. And I didn't have a lot of time. And I think that's such a common misconception for a lot of new coaches, is we're so afraid that we don't have the full time to commit to the hours that we think it takes to run this business, when in all honesty, you can do this business in an hour to 90 minutes a day, depending on where you are in your business. Some people will be more, some people might be less. But truthfully, I wanted to start off with this. The greater your purpose, the less your fear. So when you start thinking about why you're doing this business and what's actually holding you back, it's probably not the fact that you don't know what to do. It's probably the fact that you're holding yourself back from reaching your possible potential with this business. When I first started this business, there were no great shakes, no fancy training. We were taught the basics and we were told what to do. And if you did them, you saw success. So I want you to really start thinking about what it is that you're doing this business for, and then allowing that to take away any kind of fear or insecurities about what it is exactly that you have to do in order to grow your business. So the greater your purpose, the less your fear. When you have this opportunity in front of you, when you realize what this opportunity can do for you and your family and your friends who have been through this for 6 years now and can truly see the potential of what could be, the more purpose you should see with these actions that you should be doing on a daily basis. So that then equals the less you should be fearful about sharing, about inviting, and about doing the daily actions that it takes. So when you think about this opportunity, there's no overhead. There is nothing that you have to do. You don't have to make sure shipping gets to them on time. You don't have to take on any employees. You don't have to take on any payroll or any kind of overhead, and you can make significant income that can change your life and the path that your family may be on. But you have to show up. You have to be on social media. You have to be sharing about this business, and you have to be willing to do the behind the scenes dirty work that's not so glamorous and the stuff that might scare the crap out of you, because that's what's going to take to grow your business. So when you have a massive purpose, a real deep reason as to why this business needs to work for you, the easier it is to drop the fears of what others might be thinking or what others might be saying. And it gives you the strength and the belief in the purpose behind your daily actions. So you have to know why. You have to know why you're doing this, and you have to know where you want to go and have a clear vision of what that means for you and for your family. Okay, I have to do slides, guys, and I don't mean to read them to you, but I will go off on way too many tangents, so stick with me. So before we get into the breakdown of what those 90 minutes actually can look like, some crucial things need to be in place. And I was doing a couple different trainings to get ready to talk to you guys about this, and some things I realized I needed to change and work on. So know that even 6 years into this business, things are always changing, and you're always adapting to the new things of social media. When I started, and I swear I was still on like MySpace. I don't even know if that was true, but there's been a lot of changes. So you just have to be willing to adapt and grow and change. So some things that I've noticed and wanted to share with you is, number one, they give you an incredible tracking system. Right here. Okay. How many of you print this out? Because I did. I sent them all to Staples and I print them out, and I do that because even 6 years into this business, there are things that I think I might be doing, but then when I actually go and track it, I realize that I'm not doing it that effectively. And I'm wondering, why am I not hitting a C, or why am I not getting coaches on board? And I quickly look at this tracker and I realize it's because I'm not doing the daily things that I need to do. So as far as tracker goes, print it. It's in your online office. If you don't know where to find it, ask your upline. But social media wise, I want you guys, you don't have to do it right now, but if you take a look at your Instagram profile, Okay, you can all look at mine if you want to. But if you take a look at your profile, looks like this. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Okay. If you don't know where that is, then we really need to talk. But look at your Instagram profile, okay? If your profile is vague or wishy-washy, or if someone comes to your profile and they don't realize just from looking at your quick glance of a profile, it's kind of like what your Facebook kind of homepage used to be. It's like a 30-second interview. If they look at that and don't know what it is that you can do for them or help them achieve, then you've already lost them. Okay, you want to make sure that it's kind of like thinking like you have a brick and mortar or a retail store. Imagine you opened up this great store. You know you have incredible products. You have something amazing that you can share with people, but you put nothing in the windows. You display nothing. And if you display nothing that's relevant to what it is that you're selling or you're trying to get people involved in, they're going to look to the next store and they're going to go, oh, they have what I need. So when you start thinking about your social media presence, start thinking about what you would want in your storefront. What do you want people to see and to know that you can do and provide for them the moment they take a look at your profile or your first couple pictures? Okay, so we'll go through your Instagram. You should be going through your own Instagram often and looking at it as if you were a brand new person or a brand new follower, and start thinking about, okay, well, if they were flipping through the pages of a magazine, we've all done it, right? Like at the dentist office or something, and you're like, nah, over it after 1 or 2 pages because that's not for me. You want to make sure that you're looking at your Instagram that way. So Facebook as well takes a little bit longer to scroll through, but Instagram's a much more powerful visual impact. So if it doesn't interest them, they're going to move on. Same thing with your window display. Make sure it's clear. I changed mine even a little bit when I was doing this to get ready because I realized it was a little outdated. Make sure your profile matches exactly what it is that you want people to know. So a way that you can do that, oh yeah, don't write in there, I'm a Beachbody coach, by the way. Just a tip. Okay, so some things that you can do and ask yourself in order to help prepare your Instagram, Facebook profile. So think about, you can even do this after the call or tomorrow morning. Really close your eyes and visualize, who is it that you want to help? Who are you looking for? Who do you want to come to your page and say, gosh, Jess, I want to be your friend. I want to do that with you. So start picturing who it is exactly, your avatar, people say. Think about what you are going to help them do. So when they get to your page, do they know what you're going to help them with? And what do you want to be known for? Okay, so to spend some time brain dumping or journaling, everything that you do as a coach, think about everything from the messages to the text you might send at 5:30 in the morning to get people out of bed. Everything that you do, everything that you want to accomplish with this business, and everything that you have to offer. Because that's the cool thing. We all have something different to offer, even though we all share the same toolkit. So here's just a couple examples I put in here. Top coaches, I love these two. If you don't follow them, I want to be her best friend, Kim Fitzpatrick. She's amazing. So she's actually one of the people that I really watched a lot of videos to prepare this for you guys. But she's clear. I help women build legacy in online businesses. Mom of 2. She's the top coach in Canada. And she has a Linktree account, which is always really helpful. Melanie Mitro, there's tons of top coaches. You can check out their profile, but you also want to make it your own. So when you're starting to think about what your profile should say or how you can answer these questions, there's something I want you guys to remember, okay? This isn't just a fitness business. It is a business that can change and enhance somebody's life. If you met me 6 years ago, you would not know this person at all. So when you start to think about all you have to offer are in-home 30-minute workouts, well, then you're really limiting yourself to the potential of what this business can be. When you start to really consider how it's changed the lives of the team members that you're a part of, or other people who you follow maybe who do this business, know that we have so much more to offer than just in-home workout programs and shakes. So when you start thinking about your bio, you want to make sure that whatever it is that you are posting and sharing, the content matches what it is that you're saying. So if you're saying, I help women build, online businesses, you better make sure that the content of your posts, it's matching what your profile is saying, so that the content matches what it is that you're promising people. So every Sunday, you want to start considering maybe coming up with a weekly, or even if you want to go, if you're really a planner, a monthly marketing plan, where your priority lists or the things that you're talking about on your stories or in your posts are matching what it is that maybe is coming up. So, are you just sitting there going, oh, I haven't posted yet today, so let me just put a picture up, right? You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that each and every post is matching the content of what it is that you're trying to get people on board and joining. So on Sunday, maybe even thinking in the beginning down to the quote, maybe to the recipe for that week. So I wrote an example. If you have a coach sneak peek coming up, post that week then should be really geared towards coaching and the opportunity and what comes from this business. So if you're really focusing on bringing people on board for a new launch, a new program launch, you better believe that whole week leading up to it, you should be really posting content that matches what it is that you're trying to achieve by the end of the week. So don't just post to post, because we all know the algorithms change faster than you can imagine. So when you're putting things up, make sure it's things of value and things that are going to help align with what it is you're trying to get people on board with. So how do you know? How do you know what content to produce or share? Well, engagement. The engagement is what is going to tell you if you are creating content that your followers or the people that you are attracting want to see. So if you're not getting any kind of engagement, then you need to reevaluate what it is that you're saying, how you're approaching your sharing. But consider asking how you can serve people. I've done this before and it's extremely effective, asking my followers, what is it that you want to see more of? You can even message people and say, hey, thank you so much for the continued support. I'm just curious, what else can I do or what else can I share that you'd find valuable? And that gives you a great resource to tap into to find out what it is exactly that the people who continue to follow you want to see. So consider doing that. You can do a poll on Instagram stories. You could do private messaging. You can do a poll on Facebook now. But those are some things that are really helpful to give you some insight into what your followers are looking for so that you get the engagement that makes you more popular on Instagram feed. So your engagement comes from value. I know you guys are like, you told me you'd do this in 90 minutes and you haven't talked about any of that yet. I'll get to it, I promise. So engagement comes from value. I notice personally with my audience, anytime my post is somewhat Evelyn related, it blows up. So I know that my followers are looking for mom related things. But don't be afraid to share and play around with it and really figure out and pay attention to what gets you that engagement. So people do get lost on social media because here you might follow Kim Fitzpatrick and you might think she's amazing and you might go, okay, I need to start being more like Kim, right? I need to start posting more, talking more, doing more things like so-and-so because they're being successful in this business. It's the complete opposite, because you will get the most interaction and you will find your people the more that you are you. So don't be afraid to talk on Instagram stories and act like you're talking to your best friend. And don't change who you are because of the mold that you think that you need to fit. Because I've said this before, I said it at the retreat, and I'll say it again, that your story is what makes you unique and what connects you to the people that need your help. Kim will attract the people that Kim needs to meet up with in, the universe, because that's how it's meant to be. If someone's connecting with you while you're pretending to be somebody else, then that's not going to be a relationship that's going to be sustainable. We all have that product toolkit to offer people. We all have the same exact scripts and challenge group guides but it's what you have to offer that makes you valuable and that allows you to find the right person. So continue to be yourself, share your story. You can use other people's stories, but always make sure to tie in how it relates back to you. All right, so all of that aside, being intentional with your time. So the first two things I actually wrote 0 minutes because they don't count, because you guys would be doing this anyway, right? So you're not going to count the time it takes to do your workout as a piece of your business. You're not going to count the time it takes to drink your shake, because honestly, we know how great the shakes are. They're beneficial for us. And then we know how awesome the workouts are. You'd be doing them anyway. So the next part is kind of silly. And I was really glad when I saw this in a couple different places as an idea. I used to be like, all right, I 9:55, all right, 10 minutes. I got my 10 minutes of PD in because I am the worst person when it comes to PD. So I was like, check, 10 minutes. But the truth of the matter is, and it's something I continue to work on, you really truly can only grow your business as much as you're growing yourself. If you're not evolving, if you're not changing, if you're not challenging yourself in different ways to be a better leader, to be a better coach, to be a more confident person, whatever it is that you're working on, you should be doing that regardless. And it's funny because when I first started this business, I was like, there's something called PD. Like, have you ever heard of these podcasts? And people who aren't in the business were like, oh my God, I love podcasts. And I'm like, wait, you do that even though you're not a coach and you don't have to, and it's not on your 10 minutes that you have to get done. People should be doing this in general. You should be constantly working on your craft or who you are or what it is that you want to improve upon. So 0 minutes, guys. Put that as 0. Or else you can, do 100 minutes if you really need to count it. But okay, the first official thing where you're going to start counting minutes. So 15 minutes, 1 post a day, at least 1 post a day, and 10 to 15 IG stories. Here's the thing. Each time you're doing this, each time you're doing your post, consider this information. Does it match your bio? Does it match your purpose? Does it really showcase what it is that you want to display to somebody who comes and flips through your Instagram feed? Is it really you? Are you being yourself, or are you finding a Gandhi quote and throwing it up there because today you need to be inspirational? Really share who you are and what it is that you want people to know about you, that you're going through on your journey, or what it is that you're offering them. And stories, oh my gosh, you can do 10 to 15 stories in like 5 minutes. So I don't think people even really notice how much time really goes in between each thing. So you're fine. Bang them out if you need to first thing in the morning. Check in at lunch. You can find your power pockets to get these in. But things you can put on there: meal prepping, workouts, content with value, offering them resources, sharing the books that you're reading and what you're working on. Be relatable, be you. Talk as if you're talking to your friends. You'll notice this is exactly how I talk on my Instagram stories. I say things like, holy guacamole. I've gotten better about maybe throwing a curse word here and there because I'm not a teacher anymore. But, talk as if it's really you, because it is you. Share this journey. Share what it's doing for you. Share other people. Talk about your challengers and the changes that they're seeing. Share this business consistently, especially if you're trying to recruit a team. Something I'm really working on. Rose does this amazingly well. She talks about the business all the time. So definitely take note of what she shares on there. But if you're trying to recruit coaches and you never actually talk about coaching or what coaching is doing for you, then you're probably not going to recruit very many coaches. So you want to be making sure that you even just touch upon, Thursday, what that payday means to you or what it meant for other people on our team. Okay. So to continue with what your timeline should look like. And again, it doesn't have to be 90 minutes straight through. It can be like power pockets of time. They do give you a breakdown on the tracker too. So that's something that you can use and split your day up however your schedule is. But the next part is the biggest part. It's the connection. Okay? Connect. Get personal with people, get real with people, develop these real relationships. Stop the mass invites if it's not working, right? If you're getting a ton of feedback that it's not working for you, stop doing it. If that means it's only making 5 real, true, authentic connections, then make those the best 5 connections that day, because then that's what's going to help develop those really amazing relationships. So, we get caught up sometimes in I have to message 100 people or whatever. But I used to think about this with teaching, like, with a curriculum, we teach, a mile wide and an inch deep sometimes. But when you start thinking about developing real relationships or real depth of knowledge, if you're relating it back to the curriculum, when you go deeper, it doesn't matter how far, how many that you do. When you start to make those real deep connections, that's when you make the impact that you have the ability to make as a coach. So block out time to make these connections. Find the people through hashtags, through different companies. Like I'll go through certain companies and I'll start following some and picking out their followers and really looking for the people that like I want to be friends with. Not even necessarily if it works out for this business, great, but for the ones that I want to actually connect with and make a meaningful relationship. Block out time. Make sure you get your connections in. Also, don't get confused. Connecting does not mean inviting. Okay? It's finding the people that you want to be friends with and go and show their account some love. Comment on their pictures, like their posts, send them a message, not something like, hey girl, that dress was really pretty. Don't be so, surface. Really find out a little bit who they are and ask them questions. People love to respond back to questions, things like that. That's what's going to get your connection, and that's what's going to allow you to go beyond your warm market and start getting into those cold market people. Okay. Recognize 1 to 5 people in your stories at least a day, even if it's just a challenger recognition. But it can also be someone in your family. Like I love shouting out to Dan. He gets it now. It might have taken him a few years, but he gets it now. You can thank your husbands, thank your sisters for helping you out so you can go work for 45 minutes and make these connections. Or give someone a phone call, send a text message to one of your challengers and recognize them, because not only does it make them feel really good and appreciated or celebrated, but it also reminds you of all of the things that go into this business. So don't be afraid to recognize. It's quick, 5 minutes. The next thing, challenge groups. Okay, guys, at least 10 minutes. Here's the thing. In your challenge groups, really ask yourself, are you just throwing up your sweaty selfie and calling it a day? Even if it's your uplines challenge group, you want to make sure that you are showing up and engaging, commenting on everybody's posts that you see that come through, contributing to the group, sharing what it is that you're doing on your journey, and being a challenger yourself. That's one of the most important things here, because if you're not showing up in your uplines challenge group because you're not ready to run your own yet, chances are when you go to run your own, it's not going to be that effective because you're not used to putting in what it takes to have a successful challenge group. Sorry, guys. 28 weeks pregnant reflux going on here. Don't mind me. Okay, so be a challenger and show up not only because you should, you're a coach, but also because you need to show up for the challengers you've placed in those groups. You need to really be there and be a part of this journey with them. All right, is that it? Oh, no, that's one. I was going to say, I knew I had one more. The next one that's almost as long as connecting is the follow-up and reconnect. Okay, there was this statistic. A person who makes following up priority, challenger, or to work the business every day compared to one who doesn't will be a 100 to 300,000 difference. Money over the years. That's money. I don't know if it's directly with this business, but that was pretty significant, so I felt the need to share. That's how important following up is, and reconnecting. We have these challengers that sign on and start with us, and life happens. You get new challengers that start to take up more of your attention and time. go back and make sure you're always in constant communication with all of your challengers, past and present, because the reconnect part, checking in, hey, haven't heard from you in a while. Once they buy one challenge pack or sign up for BOD, they are your responsibility. And when you take it on that personally and make them your responsibility, that's when it allows you to have a lifetime customer, not just someone who pops in and out or signs up once and drops off the face of the earth. This is a relationship business, which is why the things that take the most time, if you look, 35 minutes for connecting, 25 minutes a day for follow-up and reconnecting, those are the things that build those relationships. So that is what your day can look like. You can break it up however it should or should not work, but know that Rose, I built this business initially 6 years ago while we were working multiple jobs and crazy hours. You do not need to be a full-time coach to see full-time income, and you certainly don't need 8 hours in a day to work this business in a successful way if you're doing intentional activities and things that are going to be the activities you need to do to build the business. So creating those relationships, connecting with people, showing up, and leaving fear behind. Okay, so something that's really important to do is I want you, if you've never done this, if you're a newer coach or if you're afraid to really open up and tell your husband or spouse what it is that you want from this business, write it down, share it with them. Share your goals, share where you want to go and why, so that your family knows that when you say, honey, I need a half hour to work, or I need 40 minutes on a Sunday, or whatever it is that you need, or if I need to be on my phone for an hour at night after the kids go to bed, this is why. But then you're not spending that hour scrolling through social media. You're using it as focused, intentional time doing the activities that you need to do in order to grow your business. So back to the thing. When you start to really focus on what it is that your passion and your purpose is with this business, the less that any fear can really hold you back. So I kind of want to go back. Does anybody else want to shout out? Does anybody have any questions? I went fast because usually I'm asleep by now, guys, I swear. I know I talk really fast. Hold on, let me see the chat. I can't see it. Oh, the business. Okay. Okay, Rose, it's just you. That's good. Excellent points. But does anyone have any questions or any thoughts? Anything else you want to shout out or recognize?
Jess, can you see me?
I can.
Okay, I'm on my phone. It's funny, I did something like this today. So I organized myself and I looked at the tracker and I said to myself, okay, what wouldn't overwhelm me? And I wrote down connect with, add 10 new friends. So I was like, all right, do that. And that took 5 minutes to go add friends. And then it was follow up with people who I've been talking to. And it was a quick hey, how are you type thing. And then, so that took 3 minutes. And I just made a list and it was have 7 new conversations. So not invites to challenge groups, but people have been watching my stories. So people I friended who are now watching, just great to connect with you. So I just put 7 because that didn't seem overwhelming. And then I had invite 5 new people to challenge groups and 3 new people to coaching. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a lot of people, but it made it simple. And then check in with my challenge group, check in with my coaches. And I think all of that, that was a power hour for me.
Yeah. And imagine if you do that little bit every day.
Every day, yeah.
So when you start thinking about, it's overwhelming if you're looking at the end of the week and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to hit SC 5 every week. That can be overwhelming. But by doing these daily actions and these little things each day, that's what's going to equal in the end the results, the income, the success club points. All of that kind of comes with that territory of just doing a little each day. It doesn't have to be an overwhelming amount. It doesn't have to be 100 invites. Because I don't think that there's ever been a day when I did 100 invites, to be quite honest with you. That overwhelms the crap out of me. And it doesn't feel real and it doesn't feel authentic to me. So I've been pretty successful with this business by doing these little things in power pockets of time. Guys, I'm a full-time coach and I do not work full-time hours, mainly because my toddler does not allow it, but it's also not necessary. So, when you start getting overwhelmed thinking you need 5 hours a day, like, sure, you could fill 5 hours, but if you want to do this business successfully on a part-time basis, you have to be intentional. You have to be doing the things that it's going to take in order to get there, and not just getting caught up in scrolling and watching other people's stories, because that's not what's going to get you there. But that's a great point, Ash.
Jim Rohn has this really good YouTube video. I don't even know if it's a video. I think it's just audio. But he talks about the power of being a part-time coach. You remember that one, Jess? It's like super old. And it's network marketing, but like he talks about like sharing with people that you're building a full-time income working part-time hours. And like that's the magic sauce of this is like, I remember the month that I quit my job and we bought our new house and it was like all finished and we moved in. That was the month I missed Success Club because I thought all of these people would be like, oh my God, she's so freaking awesome. But not that I got too big, but people saw like, holy shit, like I can't do that. Like there's no way I could do that. So don't be afraid of sharing your dreams now of what you want this to be later on. Because you might not have that 6-figure income or whatever rank that you're trying to reach, but it's casting that vision and casting that dream that's going to motivate other people like, damn, you know what? Like she might not be there, but she has some gonads to like go after it, right? And share that with people. Like people who are confident, right? Like if you see someone like being bold, like that's attractive to people and people are drawn to that. So don't be afraid of sharing where you are now and where you want to go. Because once you get there, you could be like, ta-da, I'm here. And people are like, so what? I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you have to share that real and vulnerable, like where you are now and where you want to go with this, even though it's scary. Put yourself out there like that.
For sure. Anybody else?
One more thing that's been coming up a lot on my Instagram lately and my Facebook, people have been reaching out. I just said, be authentic, be you. It couldn't be more true. Do not try to emulate anybody. Just be yourself and be real. People message me all the time. They're like, thank you for being vulnerable. It sucks. Like I cried on my Instagram the other day, but I had so many people reach out to me about my cat. But that's just building relationships. It's hard to do, but sometimes I'm just like Lisa said one time, don't be a bitch, hit send. It has nothing to do with this specifically, but like I'm just like, just do it. It's fine. It's vulnerable. People appreciate it. And so many people could relate to my stupid cat. Has nothing to do with my fitness business. But now they're watching my stories and wondering what's going to happen to my cat and all this stuff. So just be you. Just be authentic.
It's true. And be vulnerable and share the days that stink, and share when you get an infection on your leg and you can't work out for a week. I didn't share the actual photo. I considered it, but life happens, things come up, and it prevents you from being perfect. And that's like the sweet spot. The perfection is what turns people off. It's when you show up on Instagram stories with a big zit on the side of your face, because you are human, and your stories can't reflect a perfect person, because nobody here, sorry guys, if you think that you are, nobody here is perfect. And that's the cool thing, and that's why you have to be you. And because you're not Ashley Molstead, guys. Maybe she looks like a really cool friend. She kind of intimidates me, but you follow people because you're attracted to who they really are, so that's what you've got to share. That's who you've got to be. And that's what you have to allow people to connect to. So that's all I got.
Absolutely. If you guys are on and want to share your picture so we can take an Instagram story. Turn your photo, what am I saying? Turn your camera on. That's what I'm saying. Turn your camera on so we can see your face and smile. Or do whatever you want. All right.
Everyone get your phones out.
1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
Got yours.
All right.
Thank you guys for being on.
It was awesome. Yeah, and share that PowerPoint if you can.
Will do.
That'd be great.
You got it. Thanks,
Have a good night, everybody.